healthcare and watching kids. What do they call it? You drop your kids off and they're watched. All over Europe and everywhere, every developed country, that's free. But yet they're screaming for abortions left and right, and when they get a chance to actually help a human being that's born,
right,
they turn their back. They turn their back on them completely. No child health. They were supposed to cut child poverty down by 40%, some godly number, which we needed desperately. In child care, in child health care, we don't have any of that.
Mm-hmm.
In the meantime, that nut in Florida, whatever his name is, the governor there, said 15 weeks, and if you go for an abortion, we'll throw you into the Gulf of Mexico. You get caught.
I missed that. Jeez.
Yeah. 15. He's got a 15-weeker out there. They're all salivating over it. In the meantime, no Republican will back the child credit. No child health care, anything to do with anybody who's born. This is just a political. All it is a Heritage Foundation since the 80s for 40 years. The Second Amendment, abortion. They could probably fill up about 10 million voters that way. I'm a practicing Catholic, and I don't even think about it. I had nuns, Dominican nuns for Obamacare. And a lot of people threw it up to them, and they'd say, well, no. We're for health care for everybody. That's a private decision between you and Almighty God. You know what I mean? Not a political issue.
No, not at all.
It's an irony, isn't it? It's an irony when they won't pass child health care or anything to help anybody.
Or even to extend the child credrit for that's gone. That will not be showing up in families' mailboxes this month.
In the meantime, they're screaming for abortions. And they're forcing these poor, whoever it is, the wealthier people can go to different places to get them. But during the pandemic, say you want to get an abortion, you're in Texas, you're in Florida, wherever you got to get in a car. Somebody's going to give you a ride, 200 or 300 miles.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. It's just ridiculous. It's just absolutely ridiculous. And these five, and I'm sure if they went to the Supreme Court with these five Republican judges, they'd say health care, no, that's not constitutional. Yeah, give me people tax credits, that's not constitutional. But in the meantime, we want you all to have those babies. Have those babies. It's absurd. It's absolutely absurd.
It is. It's absurd. It's frustrating. It's infuriating. It's more than frustrating. I feel like we need to have Terry Cosgrove on the show again soon to have this conversation. He's the champion and warrior that we've had in Springfield for over 2 decades, making sure that Illinois is a place where women from places like Texas and Mississippi and other areas where they have restricted women's right to have autonomy over their own bodies, and we welcome women here. So.
Yeah, well, I would hope so. I would hope so. Well, now, it's been settled law for 50 years. If you read the decisions of the 1973 court, they're all cogent. They were all, articulate.
And they were conservatives. That's the thing too. People forget they were.
I know.
Because they believed in smaller government and that the government shouldn't have a role here. That's what that was the way it was.
But anyway, that kills me when they kill the tax credits and all that. In the meantime, they're promoting births. It's just absurd to me.
Yeah, it is absurd.
Patty,
all right, thanks.
Take care.
You too, Jim. Thanks a lot. Thank you. And Jorge from the South Side. Hey, Jorge, how are you doing tonight?
No, nobody's called me Jorge for a long time. But
I apologize. That's what it says on my screen.
Oh. I was mainly because my ancestry is Russian and Polish, but I like it.
Hey, George, how you doing? What do you prefer? What do you go by?
Muy bueno, Chiquita.
I haven't been called Chiquita in decades. I'll take it. What's on your mind?
Well, that's because you're so youthful and vivacious. Come on.
We'll take it.
2 quick comments on the COVID, one in general and one actually kind of personal. A week ago, Sundays, the Daily Southtown, I know you Northsiders don't get it, but down here we read it. And they did a front page article on Silver Cross Hospital in Joliet. Among other things, this 303-bed hospital was operating about 12% above capacity with 330 patients, 40% of whom were COVID patients.
Wow.
And they were down to, I believe, only 1 or 2 ICU beds left. A few days after that article ran, a guy who I've been friends with for a long, long time, who is currently undergoing both chemotherapy and radiation for cancer, had a bad reaction to his chemotherapy and had to be rushed to Silver Cross emergency. And the total amount of time he had to wait from the time he got there until the time they found him a room, by today's standards, not all that bad, but it was still 9 hours. And,
oh, my God.
He had to be treated with blood transfusions because his hemoglobin was so low, and they had to boost him up with lots of IV nutrients because he can't swallow right now. And all of us who know him and care about him have been on pins and needles because even though he was released after 2 days and seems to have recovered quite well and resumed his treatment, his resistance, of course, since he's A, got cancer, and B, is getting chemo, and C, getting radiation, and even though he's had his shots and his booster, his resistance is still lower than it should be. So we're all keeping our fingers crossed that he didn't pick up the COVID while he was there.
Yeah.
And, you know, I've got 2 female relatives who are nurses, and they're both like walking examples of combat fatigue. I mean, they've been at it now for 2 years, and they're decent, honorable, very nice people that I've seen a side of them that didn't exist before because they are so furious with people who won't get their shots that they're just totally hostile. They just say they shouldn't be allowed in the hospital. We don't want to take care of them. Seriously. You know, that's something that I never would have dreamt that I would have heard them say in the past. But, I mean, 2 years of this nonsense and people still won't get their shots. I don't blame them for having that reaction. And one of them, despite all the precautions, actually got the COVID, and then her husband got it, and then their 1-year-old got it. The poor little guy didn't know why he was suffering. And it's because all these damned anti-vaxxers won't come into the 21st century and be good citizens and do what they're supposed to do for all of us.
Well, look, I think it had to be done swiftly in real time at the beginning of this pandemic. Once it went around the world, and we were part of that because we used to have mechanisms in place to monitor this globally, the horse was out of the barn and literally ran around the world. And you actually mentioned something that I think is, I don't know how we ever reconcile this or come to terms with the fact that there is a lot of rage. The rage on the right is that they feel like they're being tricked, that we are somehow evil, and we're trying to save lives and ease the strain and pain of those who are doing the best that they can and the people who are trying to survive. And I've heard the sort of rage from survivors, from people who've gone through this, and as you mentioned, those who are giving care, and we are asking them to go above and beyond what is humanly possible with their level of compassion. And that's some people are being pushed way too far, don't you think?
Oh, without question.
Yeah.
I mean, just that piece you had on a little earlier, the 14-hour days in a sweat-soaked inside a moon suit. I mean, day after day after day, and sometimes it's 6 days a week, 7 days a week, 3 weeks in a row without a day off, and then you can't go home to your family. I mean, I've read about some healthcare people, doctors, nurses, techs, therapists, that are sleeping in their cars or in their garages so that they stay out of contact with their families. I mean, and are they getting any praise and support from our conservative right-wing brethren for the sacrifices they're making for their fellow citizens? Ha ha. You know?
Yep.
I mean, it's like from a guy like Gorsuch on down. There's all this sociopathic, even psychopathic behavior. It's severe mental illness in like 40% of our population.
Exactly. Yeah. And again, that's another element to this that I don't know how we ever come to terms with it when we have people who are constantly negating the truth. They're gaslighting us every single, and I'm going to start screaming. Thank you so much for calling, my friend. I appreciate it.
I'm doing my share of screaming too, Patty.
Oh man, I hear that tequila lowers your heart rate and cholesterol levels. I'm not sure if that's true, but I'm gonna give it a shot tonight and see what happens.
Oh yeah, well, there's a shot for sure, but margaritas, I've always felt they're very therapeutic.
It's exactly. A little lime, little agave, good to go. Have a great night, my friend. And if you want to call back for our popcorn trivia, feel free. Okay.
Okay, muchas gracias, señorita.
De nada, mi amigo. Take care. Buena suerte. Adios. And sorry, I didn't mean to cut him off there on the kind words, because Roosevelt's on hold. Hey, Roosevelt, how are you doing today?
Patricia.
¿Cómo estás? Bien, bien.
¿Cómo estás?
Así, natural.
Comme ci, comme ça. Now we're doing French.
Así, comme ci, comme ça. Así. How about así?
Okay, there you go. Listen, I wanted to talk about Biden in a roundabout way, his speech. Okay, so he was on for like 2 hours.
Mm-hmm.
Do you realize that this is the first time in 5 years that we had a president that didn't attack the press or said, you're bad or
right.
You're horrible.
You're nasty. No one likes you. Yeah.
Yeah. I got sick and tired of hearing that stupid line. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, we'll see what
happens.
Yep. I know.
And here's the thing. The other side always says, they all lie. Yeah, but you got a guy that broke the record and then some. This record would never be broken. Never.
No. Well,
because he lives on the line. I feel for the people that have a condition, such as our Supreme Court Latina that we have,
mm-hmm.
and I'm sure you heard by now that one of the other guys, one of the other judges, refused to wear a mask.
Gorsuch. It was Gorsuch.
Yeah, Gorsuch. So I mean, really?
Complete disregard for his colleague. Yep. So for folks who don't know, Justice Sotomayor has diabetes, and she was saying that in order for her to stay safe, it would be necessary for everyone to wear a mask. Gorsuch showed up without a mask, and she now has to do her work remotely with the Supreme Court because he's being can I say... If I have to ask if I can say a word, I probably shouldn't use it, right, Lady B? Just go ahead and assume. Jerkbag. How about jerkbag? That's not good enough. Anyway, yeah, no, he's awful.
But I mean, and it goes to show that not only do we have a pandemic, but we have a Trump pandemic because people act like Trump, like little kids. Because my mom cannot get it out of her head how this guy, she goes, I wonder what he thinks. I go, I don't care what he thinks. I go, his way of life is making money out of not paying others, out of swindling, out of getting a team of lawyers to intimidate. That's how he made his money.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how much money he's got, but he's fighting everything that he said that he said he was going to show his taxes. He said he was going to say do this, do that. He hasn't done anything to be transparent. And we had 5 years of that garbage. I mean, 4 years. No, 5 because he ran for close to a year. So
yeah, it's amazing. There are always these folks who post this long laundry list of things that Trump accomplished, and no, you know what? Let's just start with even North Korea. What, you legitimized a dictator? Congratulations! And there's a cuss word in the middle of all that. Everything that he said he was going to do. Remember, he said he was going to replace affordable care with something else, something great, something better. Okay, no, didn't. The wall, which I'm glad he didn't accomplish that, but he also spent a ton of money. Wow, I am editing my cuss words so well today, Roosevelt. I think I would take a break before I cross the line. Yeah, it's... yeah.
Can I say a couple of more things?
Yes.
I'm glad you brought that up. Now, we have the situation right now with Russia.
Yeah.
Can you imagine if he was still in office? Can you imagine if he was still in office? He would tell Putin, "How do you want the countries that you want on a silver platter, or how can I hand them to you? You know,
well, and
he wouldn't give them."
Yeah, and you don't know this, but this is why we need to continue. Because of the pandemic, we did not continue to pursue what happened with that Ukraine memo, the quid pro quo. Remember, that was like, do this for us and we'll help you. And by the way, someone just texted a little bit ago. Mitch McConnell made a speech earlier about President Biden's report card in 22, and in doing so, he gave away his platform, which was that he had ultimate knowledge with the Russians that they were going to attack Ukraine, and that again, as usual, immigration is going to be under attack by Republican parties. So basically, laying out what the plan of attack is for this next election. It's absolutely insane. And there's a Ukraine memo that needs to be investigated, and we need to know what Mark Paoletta knew. And by the way, he is best friends with Clarence Thomas and is best friends with Ginny Thomas, who they paid for buses for January. I mean, there's so many different parts of this that we still need to unravel, and I hope that we continue to get to the bottom of it. You're going to make me yell, Roosevelt. You already made Steve from the Gold Coast hang up. I'll tell you that right now. He's like, call back later. Steve, you could have called back. All right. I have to go for a break, and we're doing some popcorn trivia, Roosevelt. If you want to hang on for that, you can. So don't, you don't have to hang up. People can call in. Popcorn trivia coming up after this for your chance to win gift cards from Wells Street Popcorn. We're very excited to have a wonderful gift from them, and you can order some of their, well, I'll tell you about it when we come back because I'm late for this little break right here.
This is John Daniel, President and Business Manager of the Sheet Metal Workers of Smart Local 265. The principles that guide me are rooted in the simple belief that united we stand and divided we fall. We the people must recognize that a diverse environment with unique points of view is the foundation for success. A culture where labor and management work together inspires innovation, promotes inclusion, creates a sustainable growth for business, the workforce, and our communities. When the entrepreneur's vision is developed and improved with the voice of a unionized workforce, you build more than just a product, you build a stronger future. I want to personally thank everyone who voted for President Biden. He believes in unions. Blue Collar Biden signed the American Rescue Act of 2021, which secures vested pension benefits. It funds improvements of indoor air quality in K-12 schools and provides additional Paycheck Protection Program loans to support small businesses. This is John Daniel from Smart Local 265. Join me in celebrating a return to sanity and a sustainable middle class. Stay union strong.
Stephanie Miller here. Now more than ever, a lack of understanding leads to distrust, and those feelings get really personal when it's about food. Is your food frustrating you? Worse yet, is good food painful? As I learned from the Tummy Whisperer, even healthy eating habits have pitfalls. I highly recommend Renee Barish at Digestive Health Solutions. As a certified digestive health specialist, she helps people untangle poor digestion and all the related symptoms. Have you changed your diet only to feel worse? Get answers and stop making your digestive issues a full-time job. Renee can solve issues like acid reflux, constipation, diarrhea, even symptoms that are related to poor digestion like headaches, joint pain, and fatigue. She creates a custom program with you that allows your body to restore its proper balance as she helps you calm things down in Tummy Town. It's time to understand what foods are triggering your stressful symptoms. Have trust in your tummy again. Visit thetummywhisperer.com or call Digestive Health Solutions at 847-207-2034. Let Renee get you feeling better. Call now, 847-207-2034.
Chicago's Progressive Talk, WCPT 820, where facts matter.
I am so excited to be giving away a gift card, $15 gift card to Wells Street Popcorn. Their recipes have been in the family since the 1930s, and this was a popcorn cart. So here's why it's called Wells Street Popcorn. It was a popcorn cart in the 1930s on Wells Street, and it's such a great story. And they've got the original caramel corn recipe, which is still a favorite, along with a lot of other delicious flavors. So 773-763-9278. 9278. Here's your trivia question, and I am fully aware that I have no way of making sure that you're not Googling it, but you can call us and give me the answer to this question. So the first caller to get this answer right wins a gift card to Wells Street Popcorn. Everyone can go to wellsstreetpopcorn.com, message them, and thank them for generously giving us a gift card for their wonderful treats. So what year did microwave popcorn become available in America? 773-763-9278. So here's the thing. That's something I think you can kind of guess. If you close your eyes and you grew up in any time before if you were born before 1975, you got a pretty good idea of when microwave popcorn came to the United States. So 773, look, Lady B's like, yeah, I can close my eyes and remember the first time I smelled that in my house. 773-763-9278. What year did microwave popcorn become available in the United States? I mean, there's a lot of great trivia, actually. I kind of love this page. It's from the Farmer's Almanac. The first popcorn machine was developed where? In Chicago in 1885. It was mobile and it ran on gasoline. Most of the corn used for popcorn in the U.S. is grown on the Corn Belt, of course, and Nebraska is the country's largest producer of popcorn. Here's a number. This is Americans consume 14 billion quarts of popcorn annually, which would be about, somebody's eating a lot of popcorn, because I don't know about you, Lady B, but I am not eating 43 quarts of popcorn. That would be, you and I would have to eat 43 quarts of popcorn a year in order to get to 14 billion. Let's see. By the way, this is something I've never heard. The unpopped kernels are known as old maids or spinsters. What? That seems a little mean. Our friend Heather is on the line, wants to join our conversation. What do you want to talk about for governor of Illinois or Michigan, Heather? Oh, 1 second. I probably should do this. Oh. There you go. You're on the air, Heather. Hi. I love you too, by the way.
Okay. I saw something on Heartland Signal, and it was about the GOP gubernatorial candidate in Michigan. And he supposedly opposes the child care credit. I don't know if
most of them do. Yeah,
the child care credit or unemployment for people. But he was at a gun show and he was wearing, I guess it was a Rolex, and it was a real nice, real expensive one. And he, from what I believe, he was showing it off to people, too.
Sure. Bet he was. Yeah.
So, what kind of scam is he trying to pull?
Well, but here's the thing. There's so many people who feel that being able to display wealth is, that's their success. And a family that can't make it or, pay for groceries, well, that's their own failure as a human being. That's just the take that people have. And they don't care. Look, they don't care that, 48% of the world's wealth is owned by 1% of the population globally. I can't, Anyway, yeah. Heather, I got to run because we're almost done and I got to get a winner for this popcorn. Unless you have a guess. Do you have a guess?
No, I don't.
All right. Let's see if Casey's got it. Have a great night. Love you, Heather. See? I was not bothered by that. Bye-bye. Hey, Casey, what's your answer for our popcorn trivia? What year did microwave popcorn come to the United States?
I believe it was in 1982.
I'm gonna take that as an answer only because you're the only person on the line. Because I have to go. It's 1980. You know what? I was going to give plus or minus 3 years. So you win in that parameter. Congratulations. It's 1981, and you have won a gift card to Wells Street Popcorn. Everyone go to wellsstreetpopcorn.com for this iconic popcorn.
Your show is fantastic. Your show is fantastic.
Oh, Casey.
You're a gem.
Well,
you're a gem on the radio.
You already won the prize, my friend, but I will take the buttering up of the popcorn. Thanks so much, Casey. I'll talk to you again soon, okay?
Even if I would have won.
I appreciate it. Hold on the line, and Lady B will get your email, and we'll connect with you about getting those gift cards out to you, okay? Have a great night.
Great. Thank you. You too.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. We'll see you again tomorrow. We have a local entertainer that's going to join us, Andre Bellos. I want to talk about his appearances on, I believe it's like one of the talent dance shows. I want to talk to him about that, and we'll continue our conversation tomorrow. Have a great night, everybody. Thank you, Lady B. The Devil's Advocate is up next with Mike Root.
Since you're listening to WCPT 820 right now, we know that you're someone with a social conscience who cares about our environment, our government, and our society.